standard for the nihilists.
Yeah. They're going a little deeper on creatures, so they don't have room for all these less than efficient burn spells, Skullcard being one of them. Granted, if you stop any kind of life gain, then it's well worth it, but
What's going on here?
it's hard to come up with.
Alright, looks like we're about ready to roll.
I'm not sure what seed each player was in the tournament, but they'll be playing based on whoever was a higher seed in the Swiss. Probably take the play. Is that a Searing Blaze? Does Prince have Searing Blaze main? I'm going to go ahead and do a quick check for Searing Blaze.
Looks like Searing Blaze.
Yeah, he's got 4 in the main, so that's actually going to be pretty strong here.
And he has multiple copies of Eidolon of the Great Revel in his hand.
But just one land?
Also, I think he had 2.
2? I saw the mountain. I'm not sure if he had a fetch land in the middle there.
I think it was 2 mountains.
2 mountains,
yeah.
Okay. So going to start with Goblin Guide.
Strong start.
Get your, well, trigger. Ethan, come on, you're playing them too. You should know.
Yeah, it looked like a Sacred Foundry off the top. Oh no, Stomping Ground.
Okay.
He drew another land for the turn.
Alright. So, what do you think we'll see here? Do you think this is the kind of matchup where you bolt your opponent's Goblin Guide?
I didn't get a strong look at Ethan's hand. I think... I mean, it depends on how his hand looks, to be honest. I mean, I know he has multiple lands in there.
I see his own Goblin Guide.
Definitely more than Prince has.
Yeah.
So he's probably just... Yeah, that seems fine. I mean, he is definitely going to get punished from the Searing Blaze.
But at least he attacked.
Yeah,
if he was
sure.
like, I think I'll block,
I don't
that would not have worked out.
That's never a good plan.
Well, it's got to be a good plan sometimes.
Not... I don't think it's ever a good plan in turn 1 in the Burn Mirror.
Alright, coming back in. Let's get that trigger.
Target's command up the top. Alright, so Ethan's going to fall to 15 and then probably get Searing Blaze here. Oh no, he went for the Eidolon.
That's interesting given he doesn't have another land drop.
Yeah.
I think getting the 3 from the Searing Blaze while you can, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
you got to take it. And not only that, it stops the only threat that Ethan's presented thus far.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he's going to block here. I mean...
No, certainly not. Not with Ethan at 13 and himself at 18. And
So
now with 2 bolts in hand.
second bolt off
after
the top.
Yeah, he's going to draw off the top. So he's
So
got
we've
Wild
got-
Nacatl, Searing Blaze, Bolt in hand. Does he have another card? Prince?
Ooh.
Jeez. The double Eidolon
That is
board.
punishing.
So Ethan's at 11 here.
Is that lethal? No, that's
Well, he's got
one short
blockers.
of lethal.
Bolt
from the
bolts?
bolts, yeah. I mean, Ethan knows he has both bolts, so he can't just
Oh, he has
take the
another
damage.
Eidolon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. We saw that in his opener, the second Eidolon.
Yeah. So yeah, if Ethan is keeping tabs, the 2 bolts spell, doom unless he blocks.
I mean, it puts Prince in a tough spot as well, because he's going to be if he casts both bolts, he's going to take 8.
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
If he goes to 8 and Ethan can't play another spell,
No.
I think that's a game-winning play for Prince. If he can put if he can put Ethan to less than 4 life.
So if Prince attacks with both his creatures here, what do you think the likelihood of Ethan blocking Eidolon with Eidolon is?
See, it's hard for me to know what Ethan would do. I think I would make that trade.
Yeah, I think that seems correct.
Agreed, but I don't know. I mean, Ethan might have different plans, but I think that would be, my hope.
Yeah,
and given Prince has another Eidolon in hand, maybe that's just what he does. Maybe just he attacks with both, takes the trade, then plays another Eidolon.
I would definitely... I mean, if I was in Prince's shoes, I'd definitely be attacking here.
Oh, for sure. I can't imagine we'll see the Goblin Guide hold back. I think if he wants to just kind of lock Ethan under his own spells, maybe the Eidolon stays back.
I mean, do you possibly bolt Ethan's Eidolon and then go in? I don't think that's good. I think you just offer the trade.
So does Prince have another burn spell? He just has 2 bolts, right?
2 bolts that he can cast,
okay.
yeah.
So if he
And a
attacks
Searing
with
Blaze.
just Goblin Guide...
Oh man, he just passed.
Ooh. Interesting. I was going to say...
I don't like that at all.
If Prince attacks with just Goblin Guide,
yeah,
and Ethan does not block, he can bolt. He'll take 8 himself, but Ethan will be down to 3, which means he cannot play any spells with CMC 3 or less.
Sure.
And then Prince just has to sit there and draw a burn spell and win the game, as long as this Eidolon attacking doesn't kill him first.
Yeah.
Because then Ethan's going to be like, all right, attack my Eidolon. Try to get these off the board.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that might have been a good play. Maybe he just, like I said, he does not want to offer this trade for this Eidolon. He wants the Eidolons to stay in play because Ethan is at a lower life total. Like, what's Ethan going to do? Like, is he going to attack with the Eidolon? But then he doesn't have a blocker.
Sure.
For the other Goblin Guide.
I think it looks like Ethan's on the right plan here. I mean, it looks like Prince... well, actually, with Prince missing his land drops, I don't know if I'd go in with the Goblin Guide.
Yeah. So what do you do here if you're Prince, now that you're in this spot?
It's pretty tough. I mean, I think he needed to be proactive on his previous turn and not just sit there.
I think you just trade off guides, right?
trade guides.
I think that's it. And then you just trade the 2 damage and 2 damage, because Ethan is at a lower life total.
I might actually, since he's stuck on lands, I might actually make that trade, just so that the guide gives him more triggers to potentially see a land off the top, because he knows he's not getting one now.
Sure.
And Ethan just passes. Interesting. So, does Prince attack and then possibly jam a second Eidolon here?
It's tough.
I would definitely not play that Swift Spear.
It's really hard to know, like, if these plays are optimal. He's going to go to 12. I mean, I don't think this is terrible either, though.
I don't like it at all.
Really? He's going to go to attacks?
If he wasn't proactive last turn, like, why are you going to try and be aggressive this turn?
Well, there's no blockers.
But he's got 3 open mana.
Sure, but I mean, if Ethan's going to spend the mana and life to remove a creature, I think that's a trade that Prince is fine with. And he's going to bolt here, too. So Prince is going to go to 10 from the trigger. Ethan's going to fall to 6 from the bolt. And then he's going to be forced to block. Like, he can't take 4 when he's at 6 against 2 creatures. He loses the game, right? So I think he's got to try and remove this Eidolon with something.
It looks like he has a bolt. A
He's a
couple
lightning bolt,
Atarka's commands. He's bolting something.
Did he bolt Prince?
He may have.
I don't understand that at all.
Oh, no, bolted the
Okay,
Swift Spear.
Swift Spear. That makes sense. Or at least more sense. I think I would have bolted the Eidolon.
Yeah,
Just 'cause you have- he
I
has
mean, you have a flurry of spells that you're going to be casting.
Exactly.
Like, and Prince is tapped out.
Like now he can't even play a Tarkus command from his hand without taking the 2 additional damage.
So
Are these life totals correct? I think Ethan should be at 2 less.
And he drew another Atarka's command, it looked like. So he's got Lava Spike, a couple of Atarka's
I think
commands.
he has 3 Atarkus commands. Yeah.
So had he bolted the Eidolon...
I think if he bolts the Eidolon,
yeah,
and then he end steps the Tarkus
command at his face, he
and
probably
then
would have
untaps
just had lethal here.
Tarkus command. Because the Eidolon's off the board. He's not taking any damage from these spells.
Yeah.
And he's able to 9 Prince and attack.
Yeah.
So I think Ethan, would have won the game had he known he was going to draw another land for the double Tarkus command this turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these life totals were not accurate. Ethan is at 4 currently. He cannot cast. He cannot cast 2 spells. Yeah.
So he
I think he's dug himself into a hole here.
definitely is not in good shape. That's for sure.
I think all he needed to do was bolt the Eidolon, and then he's free to cast the rest of the spells in his hand, which would easily have been enough to beat Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a little unfortunate.
And another bolt off the top for Prince.
So Prince just has to not attack, and I think he wins this game.
Not attack, probably jam his other Eidolon.
I mean, honestly, I don't think it matters.
Well,
as long as he doesn't attack,
if he
as long as he
jams
doesn't trade the Eidolon.
If he jams his other Eidolon, Ethan can then play no spells.
Sure. He's going to go to 8 in the process, which means Ethan can respond with 1 spell, but there's nothing that's going to kill him from that life total.
Yeah. Looks like he's
he's got 2 bolts in hand.
going for the bolt. Oh, does he still have 2 bolts?
He has another bolt. So
oh,
this is
yeah.
So it's going to resolve. Prince goes to 8, Ethan goes to 1, and then he's just going to bolt him again. Wow. So yeah, I think Ethan potentially had the game if he had bolted the Eidolon instead of the Swift Spear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tarkus command and stepped, untap a Tarkus command, Tarkus command.
Yeah, I mean, he needed to make a little better use of his spells there.
His mana too, because Prince was stuck on 2,
yeah.
And Prince I think tapped both of his lands every turn for the game.
Yes.
Ethan had a lot of turns where his lands were just going to waste.
Yeah. Got to be mana efficient and burn if you want to win.
Exactly.
Josh Badger was sat next to the competitors. He's our spotter out on the board. And he asked one of the competitors, like, oh, was that a mistrigger on Eidolon? And so Josh Badger got a game loss for a tournament he's not participating in for outside.
Excellent.
Nice.
Spotters on the field cannot assist players in any sort of tournament, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys couldn't hear what happened, Chris just explained that the spotter who was watching the match, who has to keep track of the life totals, wasn't sure if an Eidolon trigger was missed or not, and so he asked. He asked if there was a missed Eidolon trigger so he could accurately record the life totals. And that is not something you can really do.
That is not a play you can make.
No, you cannot. You cannot remind. Even indirectly, you cannot remind a player that they've got this trigger that they could be triggering.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I mean, it's the player's responsibility. It's definitely not the
the spotter.
People outside the game's responsibility. Yeah.
So looking at Prince's sideboard, he's got 3 core Firewalker, in addition to 2 deflecting palm, and I can't imagine we see much else come in. Even if he wants a deflecting palm, I think that's questionable as is.
Yeah.
But the 3 Firewalker are definitely where he wants to be.
Deflecting Palm is definitely something you want to bring in against bigger sources of damage. I mean, it does sort of...
Like Fog in the Coddle.
well, I
Take
mean,
3.
it still, bounces a spell, so it gives you
Yeah.
more time. But, I'm not necessarily a burn expert. It doesn't seem like something you'd want.
To me, it seems functionally like Lightning Helix. That it can't kill a creature.
Yeah.
But it can stop a Lava Spike or a
Yes,
Lightning Bolt.
stops any of the 3 damage spells. I mean, if you get a Boros Charm, that's
Even
a
better.
pretty good amount of value.
Yeah, gain 4, take 4.
Yeah. So over here
So
on
maybe Deflecting Bombs do come in.
Ethan's side, yeah, like it seems pretty marginal. Like, I mean, I don't know what you're necessarily cutting in this match.
What do you think about Eidolon from both sides? Is it like
Cutting
a
Eidolon?
play draw decision, or is it just
No, I think you always leave Eidolon.
Really?
Eidolon's
In the
probably
burn
a never
mirror?
cut. Chris Robert's getting his germs all over the mic.
No, just like deep breathing.
Oh,
I thought that was like a soothing thing, though.
Stop breathing.
I mean, that's what Kara says.
Ah, I see. So over from Ethan's side, it looks like he also has the option to bring in Deflecting Palms. He's probably not bringing in Skullcracks. Path to Exile is maybe, but I also don't really see that being good here.
Yeah, like Lightning Bolt is. I think he's got a ton of like direct burn that if he needs to kill a creature, he can.
Yeah.
He doesn't need this Path to Exile that is only one function.
Yeah. For Destructive Revelries, not really awesome here. I mean, it kills Eidolon, does a little damage, but there's only really one target. Relics, also not good. He does have 2 Lightning Helixes, which we'll probably see. This definitely seems like the match where you'd want those.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from Ethan's side, probably bring in Lightning Helix, maybe bring in Deflecting Palm. He may cut Tarka's commands for those cards. That seems like it is probably the cut.
It can be, but if you're creature heavy, a Target's Command could be, worth more than some of your other burn spells. Just has the ability to go more than 3.
Sure.
Go up to 4, 5, even 6 if you have
It
3
depends on if
creatures.
you're trying to play defensive or more proactive in this match. I mean, it's a burn deck, so you're trying to be proactive, but sometimes they, want to go after the other player's creatures.
Right.
Kind of prolong the game if you have an advantageous position. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. I'm not sure I agree with the never cut the Eidolon. I think, especially on the draw, I would be tempted to cut some number of them. Just because if your opponent starts with a haste creature, and let's say you even like burn it, you're behind. Like they play an Eidolon on turn 2, you're going to take anything like damage from whatever spell you play to either stay at parity or to kill it. And that being said, if you're on the draw, just them having a better board presence than you at the time, I don't know. I would be tempted to cut some number.
Sure. So it looks like Prince definitely brought on the core Firewalkers. I mean, this is the
And
match
Become
they're there
Immense.
for. He has a Become Immense in his hand.
He does.
Uh,
All right, looks like
Ethan,
both players have kept
Ethan
7.
on the play. They both kept. We've got Ethan has a Lightning Helix in his hand. I saw that.
So probably Sacred Foundry coming out here. No, maybe as a Coddle.
Seems like the only reason you'd go for that first.
Either that or he has another Sacred Foundry in hand, but looks like that could be the case. Starting with Goblin Guide. Another card that I would be tempted to cut on the draw, potentially.
Lightning Helix off the top for Prince.
Yeah. 2 in the main deck. So.
Oh, okay, really?
Mm-hmm. That's got to be a little sad to see from Ethan.
Yeah.
Then again, he's gripping a Lightning Helix of his own.
Does Prince have a turn 1 play?
I believe he has a... I think I might have seen a Wild Nuckuddle in addition to the comments, but looks like he's deciding.
Definitely cannot become immense on turn 1.
No, for
I've
sure
tried.
not. You've tried?
I've tried.
No. I mean, I'm sure there's some decks that can.
I'm always trying to become immense, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
All about that life.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't you?
Every format it's legal in, I'll play that deck.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Alright,
Starting with
so
Goblin Guide of his own.
Dueling Goblin Guides.
I'm not sure if Prince has a second land.
I did not see one when he was thumbing through, but...
And this is... The mana base is a little bit awkward. If he doesn't have a second land, he's got a double white spell in hand.
Yep.
With the Core Firewalker. But he also has a green spell or 2 in hand.
Looks like we may have missed the trigger from Goblin Guide. Yep.
Did not reveal?
Did not.
Hmm.
Okay, so Ethan had this second, a second fetch land at least to fix his mana.
Sure.
Looks like he's got a lot of multicolored spells in his hand.
Oh, Swiss Spear. And this is probably going to be a Lava Spike or a Bolt to the face.
I mean, if it were me, I'd just be becoming immense.
Yeah,
Definitely.
All right, it looks like Prince does have a Wooded Fiddles on the far left.
Oh, for sure.
So he can
And
get.
it looks like he does have a Nicodle as well. That looks like the F&M.
Yeah, that middle
Nicodle.
card. Yeah, I think so. Interesting, even with Goblin Guide, I would be tempted to lead Nicodle.
Just for the blocks.
I mean, not necessarily, but it's more damage over the course. Or it's more damage over the course of 2 turns. If you lead Nicodle and then play Guide on 2, having played your other Mountain or Plains,
Sure.
that's 5 damage over 2 turns. If you go Guide, that's 4.
Ooh, Searing Blaze on the top for Prince.
So Prince is drawing some good ones. Lightning Helix and Searing Blaze.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of cards you want to see in the matchup.
Definitely.
But Ethan with a good start on the play, he's already at 8 life.
So do you
I think you Lightning Helix.
Lightning Helix here
Yeah.
on the Goblin Guide, probably?
I think it matters. It matters how much inevitability you think your hand has.
Yeah. I mean, looks like Ethan still has 3 cards in his hand.
He has the option to deploy the Firewalker. He would have to shock to do it, go to 5.
I don't like that with... If he doesn't have another land and he has multiple green cards in his hand, it's a
Mhm.
little tough. I mean, Firewalker is definitely a good card in this match. So you'd have to go to 5 to do that.
So you think he's going to go with Lightning Helix?
That seems...
Looks like he's going to 5.
yeah.
This has to be a Firewalker then, right?
I mean...
If you're Firewalker, you lose to 2 burn spells, but you don't lose to any 1 from this spot.
That's rough.
Well, but then you start accumulating life for every spell that you cast, every spell that your opponent casts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you think you can afford the 3 life here to get it into play, it might be worth it.
I mean, it looks like that's what he's going for. He's going deep in his deck.
Yeah, finding that probably last Sacred Foundry.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do Sacred Foundry check. Yep, 2 in the deck. 2 Stomping Ground, 2 Sacred Foundry. Oh, he has a Forest and a Plains. So he could actually have gotten a Plains here.
No, he had a Wooded Foothills.
Okay, so not with the Wooded Foothills. Maybe if he had sequenced his fetches differently. He started with Arid
The
Mesa,
first one
right?
was Arid Mesa, yeah.
So
yeah.
If Plains is a reasonable thing to fetch, maybe if
Plains, I don't think Plains is... I mean,
reasonable?
I guess...
with the Searing Blaze and the Become Immense.
Yeah. That seems tough to have basic Plains and basic Forest in your deck, man.
I agree. With your double red spells,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit awkward. And Goblin Guide, you going to stay back?
I definitely think he stays back.
Yeah.
So draws for his turn. Looks like another Tarkus command.
So Ethan can
so
win
he's
this game
got-
over the course of 2 turns if he has a Boros Charm,
He's got a Lightning Helix.
2 Atarkus commands,
Tough to
right?
make out his hand. Yeah, definitely.
And then what on the far right? Is it a
I
mountain?
think it might be a mountain.
Yeah, I think it might be a Full Art Mountain. So, yeah, I think this Firewalker stabilizes pretty well here.
Oh no, it's Lava Spike.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I think you definitely don't play Lava Spike here. You have to play a 2 mana spell.
Do you Tarkus command? No,
So he's going to bump
I
his
don't know if
team,
you
force the Goblin
Tarkus
Guide to
command
chump.
before combat.
Yeah, perhaps not. But this way, the Firewalker doesn't get to eat a creature, and he forces his Prince's Goblin Guide to chump. So I don't hate this.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
there's no reason to do it before combat.
Yeah, agreed. Block, and you're at 3, and that's a 3/3. You
Yep.
have to block. Yep. He figures it out.
It looks like we've got another mistrigger from Goblin Guide.
Oh man, these things. These people are accumulating warnings. What is
Remembering
that?
Riftbolt.
Ah,
Was
yes.
card just drew? Drewn?
Drew.
This card he just drew.
So, yeah, I definitely think
Lightning
you
Helix,
Lightning Helix
100%.
here. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Ethan to beat 6 life with a Firewalker in play.
Yeah.
With only 2 lands.
Yeah, two lands and
Gonna go ahead and clean up the Swift Spear. That makes
multiple
sense.
2-mana spells, so he's going to gain 4 life back up to 7.
Yep.
So, and this is one of the reasons you do bring in Path to Exile, is for your opponent's Firewalkers.
Very true. So maybe Ethan brought it in because they did get decklist beforehand.
Yeah.
And knowing that there is a Firewalker lurking, I don't like this. I don't like this Atark Cement here.
I think Ethan probably thinks that he can use the don't gain life mode.
No, but you can do it on Prince's turn for sure, which is why I think
Yeah.
you save it because you can fizzle 1 life from Prince casting his own red spell.
Mm-hmm.
But doing it here in main phase, I don't see the point. You're just shocking you're just shocking Prince.
Yeah.
It doesn't change your attacks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change the life from the Firewalker. What if it
Well,
does the draw?
to note, Ethan is a younger player.
Mhm.
He does appear like he's slightly nervous here, so maybe that's affecting his decision somewhat.
Yeah. There's the Searing Blaze
That's-
that we knew about.
That's gross.
Yeah, putting Ethan to 9, Prince going up to 6. He could become immense here. He could aid him if he. If he wanted to.
I mean, it's that or Wild Nacatl. I mean, he could fetch his forest and put himself to 5.
To be fair, what is he worried about losing to?
I don't think there's anything here.
Path to Exile is the only thing that comes to mind. And so, if you think your opponent has Path to Exile, I think you just become immense, right?
I mean, I like adding another threat to the board.
So,
He could go
what's
to
the
5, add a... it's a Wild Nacatl. So fetch his forest,
Right.
and go to 5. If Ethan has
Boros Charm Bolt.
Path to Exile plus something else...
Sure.
Boros Charm Bolt, does that do it?
Yeah.
That'll be 7 exactly, yeah.
If Ethan draws a land, he's got the Lava Spike in hand.
Mhm.
I don't think he has the Boros Charm in hand,
does
though.
not.
Okay. But a Tarkus Command Bolt also would work, right? You Tarkus Command can't gain life. Bolt is 3.
Yeah.
So Ethan, okay, did not fetch.
And it did not attack either, playing around potential haste creature.
Yeah. So this is actually fairly interesting. Stop doing things on your main phase, Ethan. Hopefully you heard me.
I think I heard you. Outside assistance, you get a game loss as well.
I get a game loss? Oh, man. All right, so he's going to 5 now.
All right, I like that. Waiting for the
Just
end
to
of
make
Ethan's
sure.
turn to make sure he didn't get a land.
Yeah, because if Ethan played a 3rd land, going to 5 is a bit risky.
Yeah. So he's going to get a green source.
Yep.
I think he might go with the Nacatl here. Oh, actually, I guess...
He has
does he have a bolt?
I don't think he has another burn spell, so I don't think he can kill him this turn with Become Immense unless
yeah.
he draws one.
I know he has a Rift Bolt.
Yeah, so if he draws a land also. So I think any non-Rift Bolt, non-Become Immense, non-creature spell probably kills Ethan, assuming Prince doesn't anticipate Path to
No,
Exile.
Ethan actually drew Lightning Helix, so he's not dead.
Okay. That's a good point. Wild Nacatl.
That is not a good draw.
No, not with the Nacatl already in hand.
It looks like the far card is a Tarkus command. Yeah.
Yes.
Reasonable. So
Prince, he could still realistically lose this game.
Yeah, he has no interaction. Definitely like getting Nacatl on board. Suspend Rift Bolt seems good.
You know what? I would be tempted to not suspend Rift Bolt and instead cast a Tarkus command to gain a life. Simply because, like here, he could fizzle the life gain from Ethan, and he's at 5. Like, he's still dead to the same stuff, but now, you know, this Lightning Helix is going to put Prince down to 3. He's dead to a single Boros Charm or a flurry of Lava Spikes or Lightning Bolts. We'll see if it mattered. He could have 1 extra life here. If instead of playing the Nacatl, he chose to cast a Tarkus command.
I see.
To gain a life. If Ethan draws a land, I think he wins.
That was definitely not a land.
I like
it looked
you,
like an
you leaned
Eidolon.
over to...
Yeah, I keep doing it.
Just to see if you can get a better look on the cards in the
doing
hand.
it all day yesterday. I'm trying to... it's the old Mario Kart lean.
Exactly. What is around that corner?
But you got to lean into the curves.
So
you know.
if Prince is at 2, okay, adjusted to 3. So I guess it wasn't clear if he had gained a life off Core Firewalker. If Prince were at 2, then he would be dead.
Oh yeah, that would be game.
Yeah. Instead, Ethan still has the Lava Spike, but I think he has a bunch of 2-mana spells. So I think...
I do...
Ooh, Eidolon.
So, yeah, that was his draw for the turn.
So, yeah, Prince is going to go up to 4.
Dings him back to... Well, it's going to basically just let him even, or be even at 3.
Yeah. So,
Prince
he's going to go up to 5 from the Rift Bolt, put Ethan down to 9.
maybe going to the dome here.
I think he goes to the dome here. He's got... I mean...
And he still has Become Immense available.
So he can actually just go straight to attacks, and if there's no blocks, Become Immense finishes Ethan.
Yeah.
He drew Island of his own. So actually, what he could do here is Become Immense, Firewalker. Doesn't even need to attack with the Nacatl if he doesn't want to, but that puts Ethan to 1.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think there's any coming back as long as he commits to Become Immense this
There
turn.
definitely is not.
All right, Ethan.
So he's going for the potentially lethal attack. No, he changed his mind. Just kidding.
At the very least, I think this Core Firewalker getting in with Become Immense is lights out. I don't think there's a way that Ethan can come back from
Well, Ethan
being
has
at 1
to,
life with an Eidolon in play.
has to block the Nacatl here, or he's just dead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the Nacatl should come in. I think it should just be Firewalker, make him take 8, leave that Eidolon in play. What can Ethan cast? He can't cast any spells that cost 3 or less, or he loses on the spot.
Sure, but I mean...
if you let him chump, he can cast spells.
If you let him chump and then become Momentum to 1 and play your own Eidolon, that's still the same lock.
Sure. If you're going to... as long as there's an Eidolon in play...
Yeah.
I like... you have to put Ethan to 1.
I think I like attacking with both Become Immense... I mean, obviously, if he doesn't block, that's just game. Become Immense, the Core Firewalker, and then play his own Eidolon, and then he's just in a commanding position
Yeah,
where he can't
same
lose.
thing. Yeah, as long as he uses the Become Immense to put Ethan to 1
Mm-hmm.
and make sure there's an Eidolon in play,
Mm-hmm.
this game is over.
Absolutely.
Prince deciding carefully what line he's going to take.
Yeah, definitely in the tank here. Like it's, I guess that's probably lethal as well as the Tarkus command. If he has a lot of lethal attacks if Ethan does not block.
Sure. Yeah, Ethan says no blocks, of course, and he's looking at it.
Carefully examine that Become Immense.
I don't know if we're.
That's not a play you can make, sir.
Yeah, I think Prince is informing him right now.
Yeah.
He's pro-red.
Just kidding. Right. The classic I'm casting Become Immense, count your graveyard.
Yeah. All right.
That's 8.
Yep, that puts Ethan down to 1, and there's an Eidolon in play, possibly about to be 2.
Do you cast your own Eidolon here?
I don't think it matters in the slightest what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't think you block.
Basically locked out of the game. Yeah, you just take 2.
Well,
Go
would
on
you
with
block?
your life.
If he attacks with Eidolon, would you block?
Nah.
What if he has Become Immense?
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they saw deck list, so that's not on the table.
Yeah.
But that's pretty hilarious that if Eidolon crashes and there's a Become Immense somewhere in Ethan's deck, Prince has got to consider it at least.
I think at that point, when he casts the Become Immense, you immediately turn to the deck list.
And look at it.
I mean, not that it's available during the match, but
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
think back.
Was there a Become Immense? All right, so it looks like Prince was able to take it in 2 games
Yep.
against Ethan. We'll see if we can go ahead and get another match on camera pretty soon here.